What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews back at it again with another hometown take. Today I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks and do the Hawks still need to make a trade? What y'all think? I think if the right deal is out there, we can, but who? And who would we trade for? Well, I got one scenario that might tickle your fancies a little bit. Let's get into it, but before we get into it, you know we gotta handle some business, so make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel, check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to some more wins. You know we got 5 in a row now, and we're gonna try to make it 6 tomorrow night against the Boston Celtics. I will actually be at that game, turn up. And you already know another game day vlog is coming. I don't know if it's gonna be lit as the last vlog. You didn't see the last vlog, go watch the last vlog because the last vlog was lit. Anywho, go check out that vlog if you haven't already, but I will do a vlog tomorrow of the Hawks taking on the Boston Celtics and then trying to extend their win streak to 6 games in a row. All that being said, to say, buy me a coffee if you can to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks with some more wins. Also, check out the second link in my description. Yeah, check out the second link in my description to subscribe to the Tough Calls podcast. I don't know, I got tripped up over that. Anywho, Symone and I talking to your favorite former and current athletes, hosts, anchors, reporters, head coaches. Listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, share it out to your friends so they can do all the same things. All right, guys, we are talking about if the Atlanta Hawks should make any more trades. They already traded Cam Reddish for Kevin Knox in a second round pick, or they traded Cam Reddish a second round pick to Kevin Knox, and you know what the trade was. I ain't get on to it. For some picks. Cam Reddish and a pick for Kevin Knox and a pick. You know the deal. Anywho, if the Atlanta Hawks are gonna make any more trades, like I said, I think it needs to be for the right dude. Now, could that right dude be CJ McCollum of the Portland Trail Blazers? You know, he's a shooting guard. He is the Robin to Damian Lillard's Batman. There's nothing wrong with that because CJ McCollum is still a baller and he still gets buckets. How would he look in an Atlanta Hawk uniform? And how would we get it done? Let's first talk about CJ McCollum's numbers a little bit and how he's doing this season. The Trailblazers are not doing great this season, sitting at 20-28 right now, 2-game skid for the Trailblazers. CJ McCollum, though, doing CJ McCollum-ish type things, 20.4 points per game this season, along with 4.4 assists and 4.2 rebounds, shooting a solid 40% from 3. Actually, that's pretty good. Shooting 40% from 3 and 43% from the field. So we know what CJ McCollum is. He's a scorer. He can go get you buckets, and he's a great second option for any team in the National Basketball Association, including the Atlanta Hawks. He will be a great fit. So we know CJ McCollum will ball. You know, we'll talk about the fit here in a minute. The defensive effort in the backcourt might be a little issue, but Trae Young, his defense is getting a little better. CJ, you know, he ain't terrible on defense, but you know, the defense in the backcourt could be a liability. But who would also be included in the trade that I'm about to get into right now, it would neutralize that a little bit. It would neutralize that a little bit. So let's go ahead and get right into it. How we get CJ McCollum? Bada-da-ding! The ESPN trade machine is on your screen, and you see a successful trade for John Collins, Bogey Bogdanovic, Lou Williams, and 2 second-round picks, one of the 2023 nature and the 2026 nature. You actually don't see the picks on your screen. But that's what the trade would be. John Collins, Bogey Bogdanovic, Lou Williams, 2 second-round picks, one in 2023, one in 2026, for one CJ McCollum, Robert Covington, and Larry Nance Jr. You see here that the salaries match up for the most part. The Atlanta Hawks will be taking on about $54 million, $54.5 million in cap, and the Portland Trail Blazers are taking a little less because, you know, Lou's only on a 1-year deal. Bogey, you know, not making too much crazy money. But yeah, so we would be taking on a little bit more money, but you know, we will have a little bit better players. So you see it there. CJ McCollum got 3 years, $30 million left on his deal. Robert Covington on an expiring contract, so that's good. 1-year deal $12 million, so we could offload that in the offseason if we wanted to, so he could be a rental if we so choose. And Larry Nance Jr., not nothing crazy, 2 years, $10 million, making $5 million a year, so that's nothing crazy either. So it would definitely work out for both teams, obviously money-wise, so those are logistics, but how would it work out fit-wise, schematically? Let's talk about it. So we obviously know CJ McCollum. I don't think that will be too much of a problem. He will be a great second option for Trae Young. And, he could really be a guy who can create his own shot when we need it, bail the defense out, and just a good secondary scorer, someone you have to look out for, alongside Trae Young to take some of that pressure off of Trae Young and really alleviate Trae Young in the scoring category. Now, John Collins was doing that. We always know John Collins is a solid scorer, but he wasn't the guy that Nate McMillan was calling sets for, stuff like that. And, some of you guys I know are not too fond about that, him getting all the money that he is right now, and we're not even calling sets for him. We're not using him all the way. Now, some of you guys like John Collins, and I like John Collins too. And I'm not sold on trading John Collins. If it was for, this package, CJ McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Robert Covington, I'd be okay with it. I wouldn't be mad at it either way. But if they don't trade John Collins, I wouldn't be mad at that either, just because the Hawks are obviously playing well right now, 5-game winning streak. The chemistry between Trae Young and John Collins is there. Whether their off-the-court relationship is the greatest or not. And John Collins said, they ain't the best of friends off the court, but, they get along and they're good. So they solid. As long as they good, I'm good. So it's all good. But, like I said, some people aren't happy with John Collins' defense. John Collins' defense obviously could be better. Harrison Barnes was kind of eating everybody's lunch last night, including John Collins. So, John Collins' defense, has something, there's more to be desired there. And I know a lot of you guys in my comments have, expressed that frustration with John Collins and his defense. Some of you guys have expressed the frustration about John Collins not getting enough plays called for him, because he is a good scorer. He does have a very good skill set, John Collins does. Obviously, he's athletic. We know about the dunks and alley-oop lobs, but very good shooter from the three-point line, over 40%. He's very efficient, and he can do a lot of things. So, the debate about John Collins and whether or not he should go or stay is still there. But I think none of us would disagree, if we're getting John Collins for, a CJ McCollum type caliber player, maybe even a Ben Simmons type caliber player. So I think as long as the deal's right, then I'm okay with moving on from John Collins. But the deal has to be right. You have to be getting a very good amount back from him. I think this would be a solid deal for the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm going to dive deeper into that right now. So not only we got, our secondary option, a true Robin to Trae Young's Batman in the backcourt, but also we're getting some very good defensive help on the bench as well, along with some good depth. So Robert Covington this year, he's only averaging 7.7 points per game, but he is coming off the bench. 5.6 rebounds, shooting only 35% from three. Not too bad. That's not bad. Or again, it's like, it's real. And he's shooting 39% from the field. But we know Rocco, was mainly in there for his defense, and his defense is good. His defensive rating right now is 110.4, so very good defensive rating. Larry Nance Jr. as well, 112.4 defensive rating. And while we're talking about Mr. Nance Jr., he's averaging 6.9 points per game off the bench. Well, he might be starting right about now because the Blazers got a lot of injuries to deal with, and that's another thing we're going to get into on why the Blazers might actually pull the trigger on this deal. But Larry Nance Jr. averaging 6.9 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and shooting 51% from the field. So, good defense, you got some good bench depth, and I like the idea of a starting lineup of Trae Young, CJ McCollum, then you got your defensive guy in DeAndre Hunter and Clint Capella, and starting at power forward would be, that's a good question. I actually didn't think about that. Would we start double low at power forward? Will we do that? Y'all think we should do that? Trae Young, CJ McCollum, DeAndre Hunter, then Onyeka Okongwu and Clint Capella, and that, will we have that be a starting five? Probably still have Onyeka come off the bench because we need one of them on the court at all times, and obviously if they're on the court together, they couldn't be on the court at all times. That's interesting. or would we start Larry Nance? We probably would start Larry Nance Jr. at power forward, actually, now that I think about it, because, he's a guy, again, he's very athletic, he can catch lobs, he can do kind of all the things we were asking John Collins to do, maybe besides shoot the three. But, we have enough scoring with Trae Young, CJ McCollum, DeAndre Hunter, Clint Capella. We wouldn't really need Larry Nance Jr. to do too much besides get offensive rebounds, put back hustle plays, things like that. So, actually, scratch that. I would like a starting lineup of Trae Young, CJ McCollum, DeAndre Hunter, Larry Nance Jr., and Clint Capella. Your backcourt is, a little bit of a liability defensively, but they pack the scoring punch heavy. And DeAndre Hunter is averaging like 20 points, almost close to 20 points per game in his return as well. Very good in his return as well. So you got DeAndre Hunter for scoring as well, but also DeAndre Hunter for defense. Larry Nance in there for defense, hustle plays and catch lobs, all those good sort of things. And we know Clint Capella brings to the table as well. Lobs, defense, offensive rebound, and putbacks, hustle plays, all those sorts of things. Blocking shots. Larry Nance can block shots as well, too. So you got a good balance there between, very defensive front court and a very offensive heavy front court. It's not going to be as good defensively, but you got some guys in the backcourt to help out. And DeAndre Hunter is going to be guarding the best opposing player that night anyway. So I could see that as being a starting lineup for the Hawks. And then in the second unit, I think will be very good as well. You have DeLon Wright as your backup point guard, Kevin Huerter backup shooting guard. Backup small forward at this point would be Robert Covington, and then power forward Danilo Gallinari, no changes there, and Onyeka Okongwu at center. Now we would miss the Lou Will Onyeka Okongwu combination, and that has been a really good combination. And you could make a argument or debate of how would that affect Onyeka Okongwu, because ever since Lou Williams took Onyeka Okongwu under his wing, Onyeka Okongwu has been great ever since, and he's really taken another step forward this season. So, would you want to break up that relationship between Lou Will and Onyeka Okongwu? That is something to, I think realistically think about. But if you're getting a guy like CJ McCollum, you might got to be like double O. You might be able to fly on your own now. You don't got to be under the wing of Lou Williams anymore. But that's something to think about there. But I like those two units. Trae Young, CJ McCollum, DeAndre Hunter, Larry Nance Jr., and Clint Capella starting things off. And then you got a backup five of DeLon Wright, Kevin Huerter, Robert Covington, Onyeka Okongwu, Danilo Gallinari at power forward, and then Onyeka Okongwu at center. So I like that. I think that could be a good lineup for the Atlanta Hawks. You got a very heavy defensive lineup, a good defensive lineup with DeLon, obviously. Kevin Huerter's pretty solid defender. Robert Covington, good defense. Danilo Gallinari is there for more of a scoring punch. And then Onyeka Okongwu, obviously, is defensive heavy. But you got some offense there too. Kevin Huerter, is a good scorer. Obviously, Danilo Gallinari can get down there and score. DeLon Wright has done a little bit better job of scoring, and Robert Covington is a 3-and-D type of dude. And then obviously, you got Trae Young and CJ McCollum, DeAndre Hunter for your offense in the starting lineup. So I think that those are two very balanced lineups when it comes to offense and defense in the first unit and the second unit. So, I don't really see too much wrong with this trade, besides the fact that you are breaking up some chemistry between Trae Young, John Collins, and the whole team. Because John Collins does seem like a leader and a glue guy a little bit. Whenever somebody gets fired up, he's always getting in the middle of whether it's him and another player or whoever in the refs. He does seem kind of like that glue guy a little bit and a leader for this team. So we'll miss that. But CJ McCollum is a veteran leader as well. And then you also miss the Lou Will Double O connection and relationship as well. So things to think about there, but something to think about for us Atlanta Hawks fans, and Travis Schlenk if you're watching this as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Also, before I get up out of here, I do want to mention why the Trailblazers would even think about doing this trade. So we know about Damian Lillard. He had abdominal surgery and he's in no rush to come back. And there was actually a quote not too long ago that came out about Damian Lillard and what he says about his return. Let me pull it up for you guys real quick. So Damian Lillard on returning this season, he says, quote, "If we're going to play for a draft pick, it wouldn't make sense for me to play because I'm not gonna play for no draft pick. I'm just not capable of that." And I first of all, unquote, and then Damian Lillard says, I'm not coming back just to tank. He said, I ain't doing that. I ain't with all that. If I'm coming out here, I'm coming out there to win. So I don't know if I want to come back this season if the Trailblazers in that tanking mindset. He said, I ain't with that, boy. So, with Damian Lillard in no rush to come back, Nasir Little, unfortunately, just suffered a torn labrum Tuesday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves late in the fourth quarter. He's likely done for the season. So with all these injuries, Nasir Little is having a good season. Obviously, Damian Lillard is the heart and soul of that team. CJ McCollum and Nurkic trying to, draw the boat by themselves, and that's going to be hard with them at 20 and 28. You got to think this season could be a wash for the Trailblazers. And, with all the things that's happening, the Trailblazers, with this core group of like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum only getting to the Western Conference Finals once, you got to think maybe the GM might be might be just time to break this thing up and see what happens. And if they get John Collins and Bogey Bogdanovic, Lou Will, you got a veteran presence in Lou Williams. You got a very good, forward who might get plays called for him in Portland, and John Collins, who Damian Lillard could hook up with and be throwing them lobs to now. So then you got Bogey Bogdanovic, a good scorer to fill that void of CJ McCollum. So it could work on both sides, honestly. So this might be a win-win for both teams. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just reporting. I ain't saying nothing finalized. I'm just saying what's out there. And I think it'll be a solid trade for both teams. But again, I would not be upset at all if Travis Schlenk does nothing at the trade deadline. I'm not sure if he is going to do anything, but I won't be upset if he does nothing because the team is playing well. It seemed like there was addition by subtraction after we traded Cam Reddish. And we're firing on all cylinders right about now. So I won't be upset if Travis Schlenk does nothing, but if he does do something, I have belief and trust in him that he's going to make the right deal and not ship off, John Collins or somebody like that away for nothing. We'll get something good in return. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you rocking with this trade? CJ McCollum, Robert Covington, and Larry Nance Jr. for John Collins, Bogey Bogdanovic, and Lou Williams, and 2 second-round picks, one in 2023 and one in 2026. You rocking with that or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, like this video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to the channel. Check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to some more wins. We got 5 in a row, trying to make it 6 on Friday against the Boston Celtics. Symone and I did get some ticks. Shout out to 92.9 The Game. We'll be in that guy tomorrow, and I'll have you guys a nice blizzard. So check that out when it drops. But we're going live on Sunday too, I believe, for just to be live during the championship weekend. That is on Sunday in the NFL. So check all that stuff out when it drops and when it gets here. Also, check out the second link in my description box to subscribe to the Tough Calls podcast. Me and girl Symone with the Sports are talking to your favorite former and current athletes, hosts, anchors, reporters, head coaches. Listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, share it out to your friends so they can do all the same things. Do the Hawks need to make any more trades? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this here trade scenario. Until I talk to you guys next time, stay true to Atlanta, believe in Atlanta, go Hawks, peace.